Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shasheena. Rolle. As always, it's so great to have you with us. Topping news tonight, officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force here on Grand Bahama are getting public recognition for their role in the fight against crime. The Minister of National Security, while on island, commended officers for making inroads in serious criminal matters.
Congratulate the force.
The Minister of National Security, the Honorable Bernard Nottage, singing high praises to the Royal Bahamas Police Force here on Grand Bahama, led by Assistant Commissioner of Police, Emerick Seymour, while admitting that there is too much smuggling and drug trafficking emanating from the north. He says there is an officer on Grand Bahama who should be congratulated for his efforts in the latest fight against this type of crime.
I don't know who it is, and I don't need to know. Who was able to detect for the first time in an acceptable way someone who's engaged in trafficking in persons that we are able to bring before the courts. Now, Mr. Seymour, in your bombastic style, and I'm only quoting Mr. J, you can take credit for that one. Stand up, stand up. Give him a round of applause.
He shares why this is important on so many levels.
Whether we are able to fight crime and how we are able to fight crime and how successful we are able to fight crime, and some crimes more than others, determines how we are viewed by the international community, even to the place, particularly with trafficking in persons, where they are now putting you in one tier or another tier, and depending on where you are, could determine whether sanctions are imposed on the country, economic sanctions, sanctions which affect our people's ability to earn a living. And these are things that the general community do not always know.
Commissioner of Police Alison Greenslade admits that there are some reasons of concern here in the north.
To tell you, we're not concerned whenever we see significant seizures of drugs, and certainly where we arrest people for smuggling operations, and now in the case of the trafficking incident that we've had, would be a lie. And we're not going to lie to you about that.
He's sending this message to criminals.
We continue to send a warning to people out there who intend to disrupt the peace and tranquility of our islands, and who intend to poison our children and children on the planet with illegal drugs, and certainly the ones that are trafficking firearms. And now adding to that this dastardly trafficking in persons and smuggling, that we are going to come after them, and we're going to devote all of the law enforcement resources at our disposal in an effort to interdict them. That's a statement of fact.
Well, the two former police officers who were previously arraigned and remanded to prison on illegal firearms and ammunition will appear before the Court of Appeal on March 7th. The former officers, Dion Morris and Renardo Bethel, were given bail in July of last year. When they appear before the Court of Appeal this week, Morris will be represented by attorney Dion Smith, and Bethel will represent himself. In other news, many Bahamians purchase vehicles through the auction. It is viewed as a cost-effective way to buy a car during these tough economic times. But tonight, one potential buyer says her attempt to purchase through the auction has left her in debt. If you are thinking about purchasing a car through the auction, then you may want to think again, or at least research the auctioneer before you hand over your money. But it's a little too late for Rodnika Stewart, who says she gave an acquaintance $4,000 to purchase a car for her.
I contacted him on Facebook. He said he bring in cars. I was not. So me and him spoke, and then we got together probably a few weeks after that for him to bring in Maxima for me. And we met up for me to give him the down payment. Gave him the down payment probably on a Monday, and called him back later on in the week and asked him for the monies back.
She says within a few days she heard many stories about how her acquaintance allegedly ripped off clients, and that's why she decided to take the money back.
I heard stories about him and how he took monies from other persons without bringing them no car, or, and had no monies for them. By Friday, he was telling me that he don't have the money, and he'll probably get back to me by Monday, you know, when the money is. But by Friday, he had already, I don't know what he did with the money, but by Friday, he didn't have the money.
But that was in 2011, and now 2 years later, she says all she was able to get back was $950 out of the $4,000. She has sought the assistance of community activist Troy Garvey.
This is very much unacceptable. People work hard for their money, and $4,000 ain't a little bit of money. And so we took this opportunity to bring it to the media because we have to send a statement to these people to let them know you cannot just take people money and get away with it. You're wrong. That's stealing. That's absolute stealing. That's fraud. That's everything in the book when it comes to that type of livelihood. So I'm saying to Mr. Roberts, pay Mr. Other money, or we will take it to court.
Well, we made an attempt to reach the individual involved for comment, but we were unsuccessful. Stewart says she wants to warn other women not to become a target. In other news, former PLP candidate and former executive at the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Albert Gray, has been appointed interim chair of the Grand Bahama Council. In making the announcement, PLP Chairman Bradley Roberts noted that the Grand Bahama Council is in need of the same level of strong and focused leadership that Dr. Michael Dowell brought to the chairmanship of the council before his election of Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge and Member of the Cabinet. He said Gray is a tried, tested, and accomplished leader in his own right. Albert Gray was a PLP candidate in multiple elections and recently served as the PLP's campaign coordinator in the 2012 general elections. If your United States visa has expired, prepare for a new visa appointment service in a matter of days. According to a statement issued by the United States Embassy, this new service will become effective on March 11th and will affect all non-immigrant visa applicants. The embassy advises all visa applicants who have purchased a scratch card to schedule appointments before March 7th. Officials say there will be no additional cost. The new service is part of the Department of State's global system integration to standardize the visa application process. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.